If you are not doing this with your driver before every swing, then you're just giving shots away. Get ready to say goodbye to bad drives today, but it's not just about improving your driver, even though we are going to do that. It's about making practice actually fun. I'm going to share with you a game at the end of today's video that I've used with so many of my students, and they love this game. It really helps them dial in the two things you learn from this lesson, and they use it before every drive, and it really helps them find that straighter tee shot. So if you're hitting golf balls and the face is too open to the path the club is traveling on, that's when you're going to get that left to right curvature. It could curve on line or just right of the line. And for lots of people, a face too open to the path, unfortunately, is the wave goodbye shot. And vice versa, if you have the face closed to a path that you're swinging on, that's how you're going to start getting that draw spin. They tend to go lower, they curve a little bit more violently sometimes, but they don't get any flight. They're quite destructive shots. And the real skill in this game is making sure you can find somewhere between those 2 points. And we're throwing out a textbook today, and I'm going to get you to learn how to control that face, how to self-diagnose that face between those 2 points for those straighter drives. Because the goal today is to find your sweet spot, because what is always interesting as you teach as many students as I have over the years is that everyone finds their own sweet spot. So some of you might need to hit the ball with a face slightly open to a path. Some of you might need to hit the ball with a face slightly closed to a path. What we don't want is big versions of that create big curvature. But not everyone is going to draw, or not everyone is going to fade, and not everyone's going to hit it straight. What you are going to do with today's lesson is learn how to practice it, how to hit that driver straighter than you are at the moment in a way that fits your motion. And what's really interesting with this is from my skillist lessons that I do weekly, I see these patterns over and over again. The drill I'm using is going to really help you like it's helped them change their club pass from here to here, from here to here. Like, this just does work. So let's play with the club face, bit of club path, but club face to start us off. So what I want you to do with your driver, take your hand, lead arm up, put it up in the air. So your left hand, so my lead hand here is flat with my arm. So it's not cupped or it's not bowed down, nice and flat. Then what I'm going to do is place the club into my hands where I'm going to hold it, keeping it flat. And I'm going to try and get the club face to basically be at the same angle as my hand. So it's basically level to my hand. And then I'm just going to give it a tiny 3-degree turn away from me. So face turning away from me, then I'm going to hold. Now from here, I'm going to take my trail arm and my trail hand and place it on the club in my normal grip position. Look what that's doing to my trail arm. See how it's turning it inwards? Then from here, I'm going to bring my hands down. And from here, I'm going to try and bring my hands to the ball without moving my elbow position. And what you're going to find is this delivers great structure, not only in your grip, so the grip to the face, which is going to give you that club face control, to get that face marrying up with the path a bit more, but it gives you great arm structure in the trail arm where this crease is pointing kind of more out in front of you. So look, let's play with that. Lead arm out in front of me, turn that face away slightly. Now what I want you to do is bring that hand down without the trail arm on. This time I want you to bring the trail arm on and put it on from the top, so from up here, which lots of people do. And look how that gets this shoulder going forwards, gets this arm quite high. This isn't so good for controlling face and definitely path, because your arm structure where it is, so what position your arm's in, which one's higher, which one's lower, in relationship to your grip, is what's going to control face and in turn a bit of path. And the best way to play this game is to do all the options. So this time what I'm going to do is with my hands up here, I'm going to turn the face towards me. So I'm going to open the face. Then I'm going to put my trail hand on, put that club down. That club face is set up now for a big old slice or cut. I might get it back to target. Yeah, I did not too bad, look, but it's got that left to right spin. And that all came from that structure of that trail arm. Now I'm going to try again. This time I'm going to turn the face a lot away from me. So in turn, close that face. And then I'm going to bring that club down. Now that face feels like it's going to be closed. This kind of pushes this arm up. This one naturally goes down. And this feels more like a hooky pattern. The only way you're going to find your straight is if you play with all of these options. So have the face flat with your lead hand, have it slightly turned away, have it a lot turned away, have it turned towards you, and find out from each of those positions which one allows you to hit that ball straighter, because there will be a sweet spot in there for you. All I would want you to do is turn that face 2 to 5 degrees away from you with the flat left hand, right hand on with this kind of contorted right arm position, club down. Now don't move your arm to put the club back, just move your hands down. This is a great way of getting control of face and path for less curvature. So I've got an interesting question for you. How often do you actually work on setup? When I see my skillest students send their first swings, over 80% of them have basic setup issues in their golf swing that we work on and fix straight away, that then helps us build on top of that to make their swings better. How often do you actually look and practice your setup? Let me know it down in those comments, because my guess is it's not enough. Most golfers want to get straight into the meat when they actually forget to lay the table. So your club face now in control with a good grip and arm structure. Your body is going to be the main thing now that is controlling club path, and that's going to be happening with certain amounts of turns and tilts that we need to get control of. But a really simple drill to help you get the feel of what your tilts are doing, and then in turn what they should do, is just take your driver, and then what I want you to do, set up to the golf ball, pick the driver up, and you're just going to put the head of the club up towards your left chest, so just left of the middle of your body, and then take your posture as if you're going to hit a shot. This will make the driver go down between your two legs. Now this driver is going to help you understand how you're turning. So if I was to make my normal turn from here, what I'm going to notice is this driver comes over trail foot, and the club between my legs isn't really bumping into this one, and it's kind of pointing off somewhere nearish to the middle of my stance. And that is because when I make a backswing, I'm making sure this segment is getting slightly that side of, say, this segment. So I'm basically just moving slightly that way. Now, if we do the same drill, club head just on to left, just left of the middle of my buttons here, take my posture. If I was someone who was to sway, rotate this way, upper body this way, common move, club starts bumping into my leg. If it misses my leg, it starts going outside of my leg. All I'm doing is following the path of my upper body with this club. This movement is going to cause, for most people, the over the top action. So they are going to want to try and get used to getting the head of the club over that foot, while the shaft of the club stays between their legs. Great way of getting the feeling of the upper body moving in a more constructive way to get the path coming more from the inside. But you can also use this drill to help you sequence the downswing. Creating better turns on the way back is going to help you make a better downswing, but it doesn't always. So once I get up to the top of the backswing, now what I want to do is I want to cover up my lead foot with this driver head. So I'm going to shift across, where this head now from my perspective is covering up lead foot here, and then from here I'm going to rotate out where the shaft then starts coming out in front of me. Think about it this way: if I go up to the top of the backswing, make a good turn, club still inside my legs, this has gone over trail foot, really good turn. But from here, if I'm someone who just rotates, what's going to happen is this club is now starting to want to go back towards back leg as this has gone forward. And that is a very classic move for someone who wants to follow that over the top action. So not only do we have the club face controlled through our simple grip game, you can now control the path of the club by how you're tilting and turning, and when you're tilting and turning. And using this simple drill is really what's going to help you get the feel of how you should be turning. Before we carry on, I want to give you all a free gift. In the description down below is a link to my free Golf Swing 101 class. This is the fastest way to reset your fundamentals and get consistent. Don't overcomplicate it, just click the link in the description, grab free access and enjoy the class. Let's get back to the final game. This game's so good. So the game's really simple, a lot of fun. Next time you're at the range, you're going to use the two patterns and skills, or combinations of patterns and skills that you've learned from today's video. So grip, how much turn away or back towards you, how much you have to pull this arm in or not, and then in turn how much tilt or not you put in, because you could be going either way. And what you've got to try and do is hit 5 shots all with the same curvature. So you've got to hit 5 tee shots all with one curvature. So whatever curvature you're trying to go for, we want that curvature repeated. So if I hit one shot here, using my fundamentals of turns, I'm hitting straight to tiny little drifty fade. So I need to be hitting 5 shots that way. But you have to make this realistic. I want pre-shot routine before each tee shot. I want you to step back before each tee shot, really regain everything, your kind of feelings, go through the process if you need to again, and then you're going to try and recreate that same feeling. So if we go wrong, so that one's straight to even slightly tailing left. So if I had my little tail right, that would have been straighter. I am not as straight. We reset and start the game. And if you can't get to the end of 5, you keep failing. Don't keep failing. Move the game to hit 3. So if 5 is too tough, change the game to be 3. And once you can do that, try and then move it to 4 and then move it to 5. And remember, if you want to exaggerate those shapes, so if I wanted to maybe turn everything into a draw shot, I'm going to turn that club away, get the elbow in, and turn more behind it, exaggerate the movements we've talked about to try and get that ball drawing the other way. I think, right, I might try and hit 5 that way. So not only are you working on consistently hitting the ball straighter every time, you're also going to find out which pattern out of all the patterns that we've practiced today actually helps you hit the ball straight. Now, if you want to find out how far you should be hitting your driver, check this video out. It's got all the information for age and handicap.